Hello! Welcome back. Episode 2. We made it. It's been a little bit of time. To recap what happened in the last episode, I've been building this city project for an embarrassingly long length of time, with relatively little to show for it. So, rather than wait until I'm 65 years old when I've actually finished it to start making videos, I thought, why not start now, during the process? So, here we are. We've got a massive, great big fucking mountain that we're going to stick a city on top of. Easy. Except, it's really fucking big. And I have a full-time job, which means it's going to take a little bit of time. But we have been making progress. Episode 1, we finished all of the build that was outside of the main mountain. These bits. In today's episode, we're going to be moving into the cave. I had originally intended to complete all of the subterranean parts of the city in this video, but, as my builds tend to do, they dragged on and on and on. So, we've not quite finished it, but we've made a very good start. So, thank you for clicking, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, what do we have so far? Not much. We've got pillars. These are actually the first thing that I built in this entire landscape, other than, of course, the landscape. But once I was done with the mountain and all the terraforming and all the fucking trees took so long. The pillars were actually the first thing that I built, so it's a little bit strange because I kind of built them and then built the bridge and then all of that. So I think the style arguably doesn't fit, but I quite like them, and I don't know that if I were to do them again, I would actually come out with something like this. So in the name of uniquity, oh come on, please, yes, fucking yes, we're going to keep them as they are. That said, there is a lot of room in here for improvement, so what I'm going to do is attempt to put in a bit of a time-lapse here of going over all of this with a bunch of different colours of wool to lay out what we're actually going to build here. So, in any second, it'll transition to that, and hopefully it will... Fucking hell, that is a bit silly. that is a bit fucking silly. Look, anyway, so we're going to continue the path forwards and branch it out into essentially two separate chambers, one on the left, one on the right, which you'll access through some archways. I think what we're also going to have to do, which is what you can see in the pink wool, is bring the walls of the cave in a bit, because at the moment it's a bit kind of too big, really, for what I want to put in. And then, here at the end, we're going to put a big arch. To cap it all off, we're then going to put a lake underneath the bridge, with a deep section down to like some magma cubes for a spring sort of effect. Okay, so with all that done, we're gonna fucking get to it. Let's start with the pillars, because they're gonna be easy as fuck. But Joel, why aren't you using world edit? That is some clever fucking thinking. That is not some clever fucking typing, though. Wooden axe. Fuck yes. Don't mind if I do. Watch this work completely perfectly. Okay, I was one too high. There we go. Aha! Okay, it's only a little bit fucked. We can work with that. And again. Fuck yes. Man, I love world edit. Get rid of you. Okay, and now what we're just gonna do is we're gonna put the bottoms on, and then we're gonna use the slabs to make it a little bit more blended and smooth. What the fuck are these blocks called? I cannot. What is the name of this block? Brick? Is it there? Tile? No? Fucking hell, what is the name of that block? Deep slate. Polished deep slate. How the hell did I forget that, man? Going genuinely insane. Doop doop. 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 Doop doop. You. Okay, bottom done. Right, so now that all the bottoms are done, what we're going to do is we're going to take what we've done over here, where we've taken andesite slabs and stone slabs, And we're going to continue that on over here and over here. Don't put them everywhere, but we just put them in some places that it kind of softens up some of these edges and also adds a little bit of disjointedness to the landscape. There we go. Much better. Much, 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 much better. We'll keep it going around the whole of the bottom bit of the cave. I'm probably not going to do it on the top because, as mentioned earlier, it's going to be pretty green, I think, with vegetation and leaves and all that shit, so it won't matter so much. Right, so let's now do the tops, which I think is going to require potentially a bit more molding into the ceiling than the bottoms did into the floor. That's fine. Right, so what have we got here? It's a little bit more going on. Not that much more going on. It's a lot like the inverse of the blow. It's the exact same. If you can't tell, I am kind of spitballing. Could some form of arch in between the pillar look good? I think it could. Okay, let's do some arches. Let's get some arches in there. Stone. Let's do it out of this, get the shape, and then go from there. Okay. I think what I want to do is hang like a flag from it. So let's check if it's actually going to let me do that. Chain. Okay, no, that actually works. So let's get some wood. Okay, that's the wrong block. That's the wrong block. Let's do slab and then down like that. And then what we might do is put the log back in here. Yeah, okay. Get our colors, which are, not them. Cyan, blue, and then lapis, because it's kind of in the right color scheme. And then let's just get the shape. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make that actually look good at all. Like, much beyond this. I'll be able to put, like, color in it and, like, change the texture, but it's still ultimately going to be very, very blocky. What if I bring part of it back as if it's, like, being blown a bit in the breeze? You know what? I'm kind of okay with it. I think once the rest of everything is done and we've got the vegetation all over the place and we've got the bridge done, like once it's set in the background, I actually think it's gonna be okay. Get rid of that. This. Kind of just randomly going over it with the other colors. There's no real rhyme nor reason. Nice, okay. Get rid of you. Put you there so we can see what we're doing here. And we'll do... nearly fucking succumbed to it. So, which way would these go? They're being blown that way. Let's not think about it too much. Let's just have it all go the same way. Fuck it, let's think about it. So the wind is going to be coming from, in this scenario, here, towards this direction, and that's why these flags are going that way. Now, this flag is going to then end up getting pushed that way because it's sufficiently close enough to the corner that it would actually get picked up. But this one, I think this one would still be getting blown that direction. It just wouldn't be as much. Yeah, okay, that's good. In other news that is not Minecraft related at all, I found yesterday on my travels through London, where I live, a absolutely fucking amazing bookshop over near, where was it? It was Sloane Square, so over near like Chelsea, posh end. Brilliant bookshop. It's called, what was it called? It was called John McDoe Books? Oh no, it was John Sando Books, that was it. It was like one of these ones where the whole shop is just completely filled with shelves. I know that sounds like pretty much any bookshop, but it's one of those ones where it's like really cramped, no space, books are kind of everywhere, no real rhyme nor reason, like there's a rough logic to where books are, but you're equally likely to find the same book in different places throughout the shop. I'll put a picture actually on the screen of like what I mean, because it's difficult to convey in words. Old Britishy bookshops. Anyway, back to this. I'm trying now to think of whether or not I want to alter the makeup of these arches. They were all just stone bricks, so I'm trying to think of ways that I can make them a little bit more interesting. Do I like the basalt there? I don't mind the basalt there. Let's put the basalt. 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 What am I doing? Losing my mind. Do I want any vegetation or some shit hanging off it? Gotta be a bit careful because it's gonna hang weirdly, or awkwardly, rather. Kind of as if they're like creeper vines. It's the feel that I'm going for. Yeah, that's about right, because the roof is going to be completely green, and so it's going to be as if it's like fallen onto the arch. Let's also change some of the stone brick itself out with the mossy stuff. There's a bit of a balance I'm trying to strike, because I don't want it to look like it's just in disrepair, but I am wanting it to look like nature is kind of embedded and allowed in whatever society this is. Right, there we go. I'm okay with this. This is pretty good. That's what I wanted to go for. I have just realised I am not in the correct version of the game to access the actual new blocks that the Lush Caves brought in. Okay, after just way too fucking long spent trying to upgrade not only my client to 119 but the server, then also getting OBS to re-record, you would not believe the fucking hassle of getting OBS to find like the source file for Minecraft. What we're going to tackle now is the path. I think it's going to be a relatively easy win. We're just going to bring the smooth stone up left and right, and then we'll put a pattern on it, and then we are going to make these railings a little bit better, because currently they're shit. Now, time for the pattern. We're just going to keep essentially exactly this going all the way down. It'll be a little bit different, but we'll utilize basically the same blocks. So what the fuck are those blocks? Prismarine, andesite, and calcite. Okay. Oh, polished diorite. Okay. Diorite, my bad, not calcite. Okay, let's do... Fuck. Fuck! Oh, hang on. No, never mind. We've got slabs. All's well. I let loose a fuck because I didn't think for a second that we had slab versions of Prismarine. I thought it was going to fuck this up. I think that's going to be our core shape, and then we're just going to have that repeat down there. Immediately fucked it. Wow, would you look at that? It actually fucking lines up with the central part of the path. I absolutely did not plan that. Okay, what have we done here? So we've got the core kind of circle wiggly 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 bit. In the Prismarine, let's put diorite in the middle. Aha. Much better, much better, much better. Now let's put some andesite in somewhere. That's okay, put one in there. We'll just stick some andesite in the center. How about that? Yeah, I like that. I think it does need something on the sides, like there and there on the pattern. You? Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. What about... That's way too much. That, though, just by itself, I think that's okay. Let's do that. So that means you there, and then we'll just take it along. Okay, I'm going to stop there before I ruin it by putting anything more down. Let's now do the railings. So this is what we're working with. I've actually also just thought of something. If I can follow the spacing laid out by the path from there to there to there, then we know I will end up here, perfectly flush with the central fucking reservation, or the middle of the path bit. So that's what we're going to aim for. What about incorporating some 119 blocks? We could do the... Could we get these involved somehow? I feel like we could get these involved somehow. How the fuck are we going to do that, though? Now, what about this? Let's do these every other one, and then in the middle we'll just have something like this that's a lot more understated. And done. Okay, pathway is looking pretty good. Now, I think what's probably going to make the most sense to do next is to hollow out where this lake is going to be. In fact, as I look at it now, it probably would have made more sense to start with that actually completely first. Oh well, it's we can save it. So roughly speaking, the blue wool is going to be where the edge of the lake is going to be. So that's going to be the shoreline, essentially. Although, does that make sense now that I do it? No, it probably doesn't, does it? Because there's blue wool here. Okay. How about what we do? Lake, river underneath this thing, and waterfall coming down in the middle there into the river. That sounds like a plan. Furthermore, it gives us the level at which the water's going to have to be at, right? It's going to have to be at, like, no higher than this level, because it's got to run down here. Meaning, we'll have to take this all out. Okay, so now we can see the shore of the lake. It's a little bit of a mess. Fuck, I really did not do a very good job of this. Yeah, okay, we need to tidy this up a bit. I'm doing it by hand. I think world edit's just going to be like using a sledgehammer to put a nail in a wall. Like using a sledgehammer to put a nail in a wall. That's not the phrase. What's the fucking phrase? Like using a sledgehammer to pin. Like using a sledgehammer to pin a donkey to. Alright, so now that the shallow part of the lake is done, we've got to figure out what the hell is happening here. I'm actually just using the smooth brush in Voxel Sniper. I've always found that World Edit is just fucking useless at smoothing anything to do with verticals, whereas it's brilliant for stuff that's horizontal. And the reason we've got this deep bit is because we're going to put magma cubes at the bottom and make it look like a spring. Put some magma blocks about the place here. We're not quite going to fill it with water yet, because we'll mess around with the floor first. So I want to make the lake floor incredibly lush. That's going to mean utilizing a lot of seagrass, kelp, lily pads, all the different types of coral. But then I also want to add in some of this green concrete and lime terracotta into the actual floor itself. I think that's going to provide a lot more texture and color. And then if we combine that with gray concrete powder, or maybe even the gray concrete, we can get a really good effect of like super wet stone and kind of like mossy wet stone. That's the plan. So let's try to do this. Tell you what, I might actually also go around and put some moss in sporadically as well. Do another one over here. Okay, what do I think so far? I'm trying to picture it covered in water with a bit of light to illuminate it with all the vegetation in place. And to be honest, I actually think it's quite good. I'm kind of thinking it may even make sense to expand it a bit more. As in to have it more green than grey. Let's go round with moss and see what that makes us think. Okay. I like what we have. Let's think about lights. What's a sea pickle? I've never used a sea pickle in my life. What do you do? Does it provide light? Let's find some water. Did that provide light? Yes, it does. Whoa. There's a whole new world of sea pickles has opened up before me. Let's definitely use some of these. What does the verdant frog light look like? Don't want too many, otherwise it's going to look a bit ridiculous. Let's start with this. I think it is time to put the water in place. Now we can see what the lighting situation is like. Okay, I think we need a few sea pickles. Do that there. Just using these to add a little bit of light to... Oh, that's way too many sea pickles. Fucking hell. Going completely overboard. I think we need to put some of the green blocks on the side here. It's a little bit dead on the sides. I tell you what, no, fuck it. Let's not do that. Let's concentrate on filling in some of the plants and the coral, and let's see where that gets us. There. Oh, that's weird. How have I landed? Oh, okay, there we are. It might be too much coral. You have to bone meal it. With this, I'm aiming for a similar sort of distribution to how it's done in the real game, where it's kind of in clumps. This is looking a bit sparse. Not all of them, mind. Kelp! Do lily pads look stupid? Lily pads look a bit shit, don't they? Let's not do lily pads. We gotta fix what the hell is going on with the bridge here, or with the road, because at the moment it's kind of floating. We'll see. For now, though, that's pretty good. On to the next thing. At this point, I think, in terms of what to do next, now that we've done the pillars and the lake, unfortunately, I think the low-hanging fruit has all been picked. I think it's time to action these nefarious pink lines. So basically these pink lines are where we need to bring the walls of the cave into. I want the walls of the cave to come in to meet the archways of the doors on the sides and then also at the back on this main one. I think before we get started we're going to need a little bit more pink wool to inform where we need to take this. Let's start just putting in some guiding lines. Okay, so here we are, a couple of hours later, and we've managed to bring the walls of the cave in to meet the archways. Pretty happy with it, to be honest. I think it's pretty good. You see, I've also put some glowstone up so that we can actually see what we're doing next, because I think now what we'll do is... Let's first take a step back. What are these two arches leading towards? Well, I think the one on the left is going to head off towards some sort of guard post. So we'll stick a door on this one. On this side, we will have something that is more to do with merchants and guilds and that sort of thing. A bit more commercial, you could say. And we won't put a door on this one. Meanwhile, this is going to remain open. You know, it's the main way into the city. So we'll just stick some fancy pillars on here, cap the arch with something, hang some banners or whatever, and fucking go from there. The other option, I guess, is to instead have a single block here. Change this to be stone. Oh, that might be cleaner, to be honest. Which is better, having that or having much more of a, like, formidable pillar? I think we need the formidable pillar, and we need to just fucking make it work. This is meant to be the main entrance into the city. Like, it's gotta be grand, right? Like, it's gotta be fucking bulky. So let's do cap coming up to there. What I mean by the cap is it's my completely non-technical term for like this bottom bit of the pillar before you then get into the body of the pillar itself. It's also an open question as to whether or not I go for a darker block here. Mud. Ooh, this is new. A mud pillar? I could do a mud pillar. Mud. Oh, that could be an option. Like a dark pillar, because you're in the cave. Ooh. Why am I so excited? Fuck me. That's just so not exciting. I'm going to just do one dark pillar, and then I'm going to do a light pillar, and then we're going to just see which one looks more interesting. Oakley dokley. I cannot believe I just said oakley dokley. I went away and had a bit of a break because I was incredibly unmotivated. Had absolutely no clue what the hell I was doing. To be fair, I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know that I ever really do when I'm building stuff, but I went away and I had a look at a whole bunch of Shovel 248 content, and it would take someone who's like artistically dead inside to not feel creative ideas after watching that guy building, because geez, oh, him and the people that he builds with are something else. Bottoms are now done. I'm going to bring the stone in a bit more here to make it a bit more embedded. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Now, what the fuck do we do next? So we want... What do we want? Do I want to do some form of cap here? I think I probably do. And then the arch goes around the top from there. Let's do this. Let's curve it round like that. See what that does. That looks fine. Even though it's a bit basic, it looks fine. Ooh, I could hang something from here though. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can do like a banner. Yeah, that's good. That's okay. Let's leave it in for now. Fuck it. Let's just bring across the bit that we've done so far to the right. Okay, now that that is copied over, we can get the shape of the arch. Okay, I think we've got our arch. Let's do whiter on the underside and then darker closer to the stone. And then every now and then we'll just stick in some of these smooth diorites. Okay, managed to whip together actually a pretty neat little torch. Managed to kind of cobble together some trapdoors here to make it look like it's actually connected, which it isn't, to the roof. And used campfires instead of the netherrack that's in the torches that are on the towers up there and in the building around the corner there. So this is pretty decent. The other thing, of course, that we did is we just textured up the roof a bit. Okay, I think the next thing that we're going to do here is start adding in a little bit of the vegetation that I've been talking about. Okay, well, maybe some other time then. Sure, no, wasn't doing anything. That's completely fine. 1 second. Green, give me green blocks. I want these to look like stems. Green terracotta, lime terracotta, green concrete. They've almost completely disappeared. They've almost completely disappeared. You can't really even tell that they're there. Okay, we're gonna have to just think of ways to light these. Maybe using glowberries or something. Okay, for now, let's call it quits on this section. Let's focus on these two side entranceways. So this one on the left is going to be the one that leads to the military part of the cave. It's going to be a garrison, a barracks, a mess hall, an armory, all that sort of thing. Let's get rid of this fucking stuff, mate. So we're going to put a door on it. It's not really that much space. Let's get rid... I think we're going to have to get rid of you. Okay, I tell you what, let's not like massively reinvent the wheel here. Let's just do planks banded with logs. What about this? Looks like a door. Fuck. Let's do the arch around it. So this will just be stone brick, I think. Okay, I think we're going to call it quits on this door. I don't want to spend too much longer umming and ahhing about it. So, let's now move on to this one. This one's not going to have an actual door on it. It can be a little less functional, bit fancier, I think. Okay, let's do the pillars of these feet. I don't think we can do much more than just a stair block there, to be honest, because we can't come in any further, so that's probably going to be that. Of course, we're going to fuck around and see if we can do anything more interesting. Crimson buttons? We're going to change block. Ah, I thought I could do it. Pop. Pop. I'm going to try and figure out how to get like a torch on the side here. Either coming out of the pillar or coming out of the side. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really fucking... I can do like campfire like that. And then like find some way of like containing it. Don't think this is going to work though. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Fuck it, that works. Okay, what happens if I do this? Huh? Yeah. I could actually do the whole thing. Scrap the prismarine, just stick that there. Let's fucking do this path. Oh my god, look at this. Look at the proportions just perfectly fucking matching there. God damn, I am impressed with myself. I'd be lying if there was any element of foresight or planning whatsoever. If I start here, where does this take me? Actually, no, no, it's not. Fuck that. It's not right. What do we think about this? I think it's alright. It's a little bit random. That's a little bit fucking random and weird. Looks like an insect to me. Those are the arms. These are the legs at the back. Those are the two eyes. This is the... Let's do the barrier. That's about the right height. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this as a little pillory, lightery, fiery thing. Let's copy it around. Okay, next thing's nextest. Let's get ourselves some red wool and swim over this direction. We said that we were going to put a river coming down from the lake and falling out between here. And we've already made a bit of progress. The red wool is where the water is going to be. I'll then cover it in pink wool, then change the red wool to water and the pink wool to barrier blocks. Then you get the shape of the water that you like. At this point, I think we want to get world edit involved. 70% air, and then we'll mask air. I think what we should just be able to do is like paint a waterfall down. So now we need to surround all of the red wool with pink wool. How the fuck are we going to do that? So working well, working well, working well. Pause 1. Pause 2. Please. Please, 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 please. That's pretty good. 2. I think that is pretty good. Let's fix the rest of this. Okie dokie. We should probably sort out the floating bridge. It's pretty bad. Okay, so starting at this point, we're going to put one there and here. We're going to need a few more as we go down, and then we'll have to put some on the corners, if you will. But let's start here. We're getting there. Needs a few more blocks in there that isn't just stone, but that's fine. Okay, that's the pillars all done on this part of the bridge. Looking pretty good. Let's copy this across to this side. Okie doke. This side done. Now for this side. Okay, there we have it. With that, we've finally made this bridge slightly more structurally sound. What's next? I think what's next is dealing with this. What do I mean by this? I think if we can come along this bottom ridge and bring it more in line with this down here, that would look good. We can then also make the banks of this river segment a little bit greener. And then finally we can also do something with the shoreline here. Let's stick some of these in here. Not too many, otherwise they become a bit overpowering. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this amount. It looks in line with the rest of the mountain, basically. Let's do something about the bank of this river. I think this is alright. This is alright. Let's move on to the actual shore of the lake. Okay, that's okay. I wonder would mushrooms work? It might be a bit much. A bit much room. Fucking yes, mates. Okay, and with that, we finished the shore of the lake. Now, I'm a little bit unsure on how to tackle, like, these bits. Because I don't want it to look too lush, if you see what I mean. I'm happy with this being an actual cave, you know? I can put, like, some stuff in here, fine. Like, a little bit. I don't think it makes sense to fill this, for instance, with, like, vegetation and stuff, because it's a cave. Like, there wouldn't be tons of growing stuff. Like, we've got a rationale for it around the shore of the lake and the lip and following the path of the river. But, like, here, why would there be stuff growing? Doesn't make any sense. Now, one thing I think that we maybe could try and do is imitate some fallen vines. All that's left to do now in this antechamber, ignoring that, is the roof. How to go about the roof? I think we're going to need to zone it out, because if we just start doing vines, I think it's going to look a little bit of a mess. Let's zone out some areas where we're going to have rock and some areas where we're going to have vines. Alright, so in all of these yellow areas, we're going to bring the rock down in a stalactite sort of way, and then we're going to put stalactites on them as well. Dripstone. Okay, now it's about just putting vines in the spaces in between. So let's do that. Let's use this yellow wool to just get an idea of where these vines are going to be. Okay, that's that back right-hand corner looking about right in terms of kind of density. We've got the idea, so I'm just going to check back in when I've filled out the rest of this cave. Okay, it's a little bit later on, and as you can see, we filled the rest of the cave. I think this is a pretty good density of vines. I think it's gonna make the place feel a lot more dynamic and a bit more alive. So let's put the leaves on. So as you can see, there's like the body of the vine, and then at random points, I'm just fucking sticking a leaf off it. Oh, I thought I had more to say in this clip, but never mind. Okay, it's a bit later on, and as you can see, quite a lot of extra shit up there now. We have leaves. We've also got vines coming off of the vines and on top of the vines. And in the middle, we've got random splodge of this glowberry shit. I also painted the green blocks, the lime terracotta, the moss, and the green concrete onto the ceiling itself. And with that, I think we've essentially got what we need for this room. Of course, we've got to turn the yellow into the green, but that's easy. That's just going to be a world edit thing, right? All I'm trying to think is if there are any other elements that we should add before doing that. I don't think so. I think that's okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to change the yellow into the green blocks. Then we're going to get shaders on and see what it looks like in that lighting environment. And away we go. Right, there we are. And man, I gotta say, I'm actually pretty okay with this. I'm quite chuffed with this. That's the effect that I was really wanting to go for from the beginning, really, of just a completely jumbled up mess of shit. I'm actually really chuffed with this. Let's switch over to shaders and see what it's looking like there in terms of lighting. Cool. That looks pretty sick. Pretty fucking sick. I think these shaders are just really sick. I think they're, that's way too many times that I've said the word sick. I think they're really cool. Let's not forget what the fuck we were doing. We were checking out whether or not the lighting on this cave makes sense. Oh, I do like that, actually. It's just catching these two. To be honest, it could probably do with another one up in there somewhere. There, and maybe there. Ooh, that's good. I like that. There we are. Oh, wow, that's sick. I just noticed that the fucking black bars come down when you crouch. Oh, that's so cool. It's like they're going into cinematic mode. Do. Okay, and with that, I think we have finished this video. We've made a really good start on the cave system. In the next video, we'll tackle this whopping great big staircase and figure out how the hell this is going to work. And then we'll come back to finish off the armory and arsenal on this side and the guild hall on this side. Until then, thank you very much for watching and have a good one.